All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the post-game show. We got just under 5 minutes left between the Nuggets and Nets, so we're going to watch along here and see if the Nuggets can pull this one out against their old pal, Michael Porter Jr. and the Brooklyn Nets, currently tied at 92. The Nuggets led by as many as 19 points in this game in the first half and got shellacked in the third quarter. So we'll see what happens here in the final now 3.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Tied at 92. Spencer Jones just misses a three from the corner, and Brooklyn has the ball. Michael Porter Jr. has been fantastic tonight for Brooklyn, although he just missed a three-point attempt, and the Nets get the offensive rebound and dunk. So Adelman's going to call a timeout. 94-92. The Nets now lead the Denver Nuggets. Got a lot to get into here on the postgame show. We're going to obviously react to what we witnessed in this basketball game. I've got the tribute video that they played at Ball Arena for MPJ. I wanted to play that for you all. It was a really cool moment. We had David Adelman on our show today on PhD, and he gave us somewhat of an update on some of the injured guys and when they could be back. So we'll get to that as well. Lots to get into here on the post-game show. Excellent first half in this one for the Nuggets. The Nuggets are just doing this thing, though, where they have a really bad quarter. And it's typically been in the second half of games. And I'm just, for the life of me, I'm trying to figure out why exactly this has been happening. I mean, they scored just 15 points in the third quarter, and they have just 13 in the fourth. So I don't know exactly what it is as why this team struggles to score the basketball so much in second half of games over the past couple of weeks. But, a lot of these guys are not used to playing as big of minutes as they are. And I think that they get worn out towards the end of games. So something to keep an eye on. Now, the Nuggets in the second half today were just what bothered me the most is I thought in the first half they were great moving the basketball and moving without the ball in their hands. The second half, they just decided to go one-on-one. I mean, it was like the first four of their first five possessions in the third quarter. It was one-on-one and try to play hero ball, not move the basketball. And that's what I think helped get Brooklyn back in the game. And a lot of times it's just Jamal Murray doing it, trying to play hero ball. So they just got away from ball movement, got away from getting downhill and getting to the basket like they were doing so well in the first. And then Tim Hardaway was excellent in the first half. He had 19 points in the first half, and he's up to 25. So he's only had 6 points here in the second half. Again, it's just inconsistencies from some of the Nuggets players here. All right, we're back in action. Just coming back from a timeout here. The Nets are outscoring the Nuggets 45-28 in the second half. And they're 9 of 17 from three. The Nuggets are 3 for 11. Should be an exciting finish here, though. 94-92, 3:08 to go. Nuggets have the ball. They're down by 2. Got to get Jamal Murray going here. They're just doing the one-on-one thing again. It's Jamal. He's getting double teamed. Getting into Val, who gets fouled and makes the basket. So that'll tie it up at 94. And Val will have a chance to give the Nuggets the lead back. Yeah, they're just doubling Jamal Murray. Good pass there. He passed it right into the low post area, and Val was able to get the layup and one. Here's the free throw, and he got it. So the Nuggets are back in the lead by 1, 95-94, 2:55 to go. Val's been really good tonight, too. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists for Jonas Valanciunas. Here's MPJ for 3. Oh, he bricked it. Wow. Yeah, MPJ has been phenomenal tonight. I believe he's up to 36 points. And MPJ, we all know and love his time here. when he gets going from outside, he is as deadly of a three-point shooter as anybody is in the NBA. And he has it going tonight. All right. Jamal's got the ball. Little floater, turnaround floater. Oh, and he got it. He wanted the foul, too. So 3-point lead here for the Nuggets. 97-94. Can they close this one out? 2:10 to go. And, man, they are just running constant actions for Michael Porter Jr. He's going to fire up another three. And he missed that one. He's starting to cool off a little bit. He was really hot quarters 1 through 3. Cooling off a little bit here in the fourth quarter. Nuggets can make this a 2-possession game if they score here. Jamal in the lane again. Floats it up, gets the foul, and one. Jamal is pumped. Boy, he is just going to work. Jamal is closing this game out for the Nuggets. It's got to be him, too. By the way, Jamal's first free throw of the night, it was pretty funny. He made it, and he like double clenched his fist. That was obviously a reaction to him missing 2 big free throws the other night in their loss to the Detroit Pistons. Jamal's free throw is up and good. So the 6-point lead now for Denver. Minute 48 to go. 100-94. Six in a row for the Nuggets. Michaels gets into the lane and gets fouled. I have some interesting thoughts after the game ends on MPJ. Just, could it have worked here? Could it have worked out with MPJ staying in Denver and being able to put up the kind of numbers he's putting up in Brooklyn? I mean, he's taken 26 shots tonight. Michael, he does hit the first free throw, by the way. Michael's taken 26 field goal attempts tonight. And I'm trying to add up what the rest of the 4 starters have. He's taken 26, and the rest of the 4 starters have taken a combined 27. That's how much freedom Michael Porter Jr. has in Brooklyn. Okay, here we go. So it's a 4-point game. Michael hits both of his free throws, and the Nuggets have a ball, minute 20 to go. Hardaway, a little jumper from the free throw line, no good. Ooh, fighting for the ball. I think that's going to be out on Brooklyn. It is. Good hustle play there by Jonas Valanciunas. Wow. He was fighting with Nick Claxton, and he won that battle. Let's see. You're showing the replay. Yeah, that's out on Claxton. They were talking about possibly challenging that, but they're challenging it anyways. They just showed the replay. Adelman looks like he can't believe it. Wow. Okay. I cannot believe they're challenging that. I mean, they just showed the replay. It was clearly out on Nick Claxton. He's literally holding the ball when he steps out of bounds. I mean, I guess why not if you're Brooklyn? I guess. Old Nuggets coach Jordy Fernandez challenging that one. 8-2 run for the Nuggets. Yeah, they were down 94-92, and now that's 4-point lead. So good closeout here for the Nuggets. I don't know why this challenge is taking so long. Okay, here's the call. Oh, they wanted a foul. Okay. They didn't get the foul. So the Nets just lost that challenge. That makes more sense at least because it was clearly out on Nick Claxton. All right, so Brooklyn's down to 1 timeout, and the Nuggets are in the bonus. So if they get fouled, they're shooting free throws. Man, Michael Porter Jr. has had an awesome night, but it might not be enough. All right, so Bruce Brown's going to bring it in, and he gets it into Jamal Murray. Minute 14 to go. 4-point lead for the Nuggets. You want to try to take this all the way down. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Whew, Jamal is working MPJ. A little shoot. Oh, he drills about a 17-footer from the elbow. Man, Jamal has been fantastic here in these last 3.5 minutes. He has been the closer. He's up to 25 points now, 9 of 16 shooting. Ooh, there's a good alley-oop dunk for the Nets. Back to a 4-point game. Man, this Nuggets team never makes it easy towards the end of these games. So 102-98, 45 seconds to go. Michael is all over Jamal Murray, and he fouls him. I mean, he literally was like hanging off of Jamal. Okay. That was weird. Reinforcing Jamal's worst instincts, Michael Rollin. You'll have to specify what you mean by that. I'm not sure what you mean. He's been great these last 3.5 minutes. I know that. All right. So Jamal hits his first free throw. Well, he's making the clutch free throws in this game. That's good to see there from Jamal Murray after missing 2 huge free throws in the loss to the Detroit Pistons the other night. Here comes free throw number 2 for Jamal. (103.98). Second free throw is up and good. 104.98. 38 seconds to go. One more stop should do it here, because then the Nets are going to have to start fouling. Porter to the corner. He's going to fire it up. MPJ, and it's off the front of the rim. Nets do get the rebound. And Wolf gets the 2-pointer. So back to a 4-point game. Only 18 seconds left. That took a long time for the Nets there. And they're going to foul Peyton Watson with 14.7 seconds to go. So Peyton Watson will go to the line now for the Denver Nuggets. Two big ones coming up for Peyton Watson. He's a 74% free throw shooter on the season. Just 2 of 4 tonight, though. Peyton can make this a 6-point game with 14.7 seconds to go. Yeah, wow. The Nuggets are trying to snap a 3-game home losing streak. That is crazy. This team hardly ever loses back-to-back games at home, let alone 3. Okay, so they did just put 0.3 of a second back on the clock, so it's up to 15. Exactly. First free throw for Peyton Watson is up and good. You know, if the Nuggets win this game by by one possession, that play by Julian Strawther at the end of the third quarter where he got the steal and the layup with as the clock was expiring, like I said, that could be a massive play in this game. And who knows, it might come down to that. Great play by Julian Strawther at the end of the third quarter. All right, here comes the second free throw for Peyton. It's up, and he missed it. So 5-point game. Nets got to go here. The Nuggets do have a foul. Wow, they just pushed Peyton Watson to the floor, didn't call any. They're taking way too long here. Fired up. Oh, my goodness. The one thing you can't do, Peyton Watson fouls Terrence Mann on the 3-point attempt with 4.4 seconds to go. Oh, that's a silly foul. Yeah, that you can't. If you're Peyton Watson, you cannot make a mental mistake like that at this point in a game. You just can't do it. Silly foul. So Terrence Mann's going to have 3 free throws with the clock stopped, and he hits the first. It seemed like it was a little frustration there from Peyton Watson. He got shoved to the ground. The refs didn't call an offensive foul, and then he kind of just came back and gave it to Terrence Mann. He hits the second, so it's now a 3-point game. And he could make it a 2-point game here. Do you miss this on purpose and then try and go for the 3? If you're the Brooklyn Nets, 3-point game, one more free throw coming up. Yeah, I bet you he tries to miss it. Let's see here. Nope, he made it. And the Nuggets will call a timeout. 2-point lead for the Nuggets, 105-103 with 4.4 seconds to go, and the Nuggets will have the ball. This is where you want the ball in Jamal Murray's hands, everyone. And he has been phenomenal here in these final 5 minutes of this fourth quarter. He has really been the catalyst to help the Nuggets close this game out. Yeah, they're showing Jamal's highlights here. He was working Michael Porter Jr. I love Michael, the shooter, and he had a great offensive performance tonight, but my goodness, is he just not a very good defender. I mean, Jamal was putting him on roller skates. Michael Porter Jr. cannot stay with Jamal Murray when he's shaking and baking. It was pretty easy for Julian Strawther to get separation when Michael Porter Jr. was guarding him tonight. You know, that is the downside with Michael, and that's why he was in the doghouse with Michael Malone, in and out of the doghouse over the course of his time here with Malone, is because Malone loves defense and Michael just is not a great defender, no doubt about that. But boy, can he shoot it. They got Joker standing on the baseline. He might be coming back soon. We'll play that here in just a little bit. All right, so it looks like Bruce Brown is inbounding. He is, and they're going to have to call another timeout. Okay. Yeah, they wanted to, the Nuggets were trying to see how the Nets were going to defend that inbound pass. They had a timeout. That's all right. Okay, so will they have Bruce Brown inbound the pass this time? Man, the Nuggets have been in so many close games over the past couple weeks. Seems like almost every game is coming down to the wire. Rico Suave. Appreciate you listening, brother. We can't stop having close finishes. I know. You know, the George Karl Nuggets, like I've talked about this before, they would seem to run teams out of the gym. For whatever reason in the Jokic era, they don't seem to have as many blowouts like the Carmelo Anthony era Nuggets did, but you know, the style that the Nuggets play now versus the Carmelo era is much better suited to win in the playoffs. It's more of a half court, slow it down type offense, executing. All right, here we go. Here's the inbounds. It is Bruce Brown inbounding. They're going to get it into Valanciunas. Oh, no. Okay, so they did get it into Val, but, oh, man, I don't know if that's the guy you want going to the free throw line here. It'll be Jonas Valanciunas at the line. Okay. He is 2 for 2 tonight from the line. We'll see if the big fella can knock him down. He's 79% on the season. That's not terrible. Jamal's 89%. All right, here comes the first free throw. It's up and good. He swished it. All right, so it is a 3-point game now. So if Val makes this second free throw, this basically ends it. Because there's 2.6 seconds to go, and it'll be a 2-possession game. You just can't foul on the 3-point attempt. God, I'm surprised they got that into Valanciunas. We'll see if he can knock both of them down. All right, here comes the second free throw. It's up and good. He did it. Way to go, big fella. 107, 103. Brooklyn calls timeout. They're going to advance the ball, but I mean, there's just not going to be enough time left. There's 2.6 seconds. Man, those are two massive free throws from Jonas Valanciunas. There was a primal scream out of Big Val after he made that second free throw. That was awesome. He just amped up the audio here on the broadcast. All right, 2.6 seconds remaining. Just don't foul. That's the worst thing you could do here. Jonas Valanciunas coming through in the clutch. How about that? Hitting both of his free throws. Good for the big fella. You know, he's been I know he got hurt, was out for a while right after Joker went out, which sucked. But boy, I got to say, when he's been in there filling in for Nikola Jokic, those are not easy shoes to fill. And I think Jonas Valanciunas has done an excellent job kind of helping the Nuggets tread water until they get Nikola Jokic back. So, and he just hit two big free throws. That was great to see. Yeah, AG update is frustrating. We'll get to that. That was not the best news that came out today. Some good news from Adelman on the injury front that he actually said on our show earlier today, and some not so good news. All right, here we go. They'll inbound. Michael's going to put up a prayer. He misses it, and this thing's over. Nuggets win it 107-103. They hang on to beat their old friend Michael Porter Jr., who had himself a hell of a game. He had 38 points tonight. His career high is 39. Michael Porter Jr.'s. I believe he set that here in Denver last year. So great finish there for the Nuggets. Much better finish than the other night in Detroit. Big Val hitting the free throws was awesome. And it was great to see. It's cool to see Michael thriving in his role in Brooklyn. You know, they're in the Eastern Conference. They're 2,000 miles away. You only see the Nuggets only see him twice a year. Like, I'm rooting for the guy. I'm not rooting for the Nets, but it's good to see Michael have success. And what I wanted to get into here just real quick in regards to Michael Porter Jr. And I've talked about this a lot since last summer's trade deadline and free agency period. Not trade deadline, free agency. You know, the Nuggets obviously traded Michael Porter Jr. to the Nets for Cam Johnson, straight up. Now, you can't really look at the trade as a one-for-one Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Johnson. You've got to look at that trade as really it was a salary dump in a sense. And with that extra money in the salary cap, they were able to sign Jonas Valanciunas, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Bruce Brown. So that's how you have to look at the Michael Porter Jr. trade. Now, seeing what he's doing in Brooklyn this year, he's averaging damn near 26 points a game. His high as far as points per game while he was with the Nuggets was just over 18. Obviously, he didn't have nearly as big of a role here as he does in Brooklyn. I mean, he took 28 shots tonight. He almost took 30 shots. I don't think he ever got close to taking 30 shots when he was wearing a Nuggets uniform, and rightfully so. The Nuggets are a much better, much deeper roster than the Nets are. The Nets are in a rebuild. But it does kind of make me wonder, could the Nuggets have expanded Michael's role, specifically on the offensive end? Could they have opened him up a little bit? Could they have given him a green light a little bit more while he was here? And it would be curious to see if Adelman would have given him more of a green light than Michael Malone did. Because like I said, MPJ was kind of in and out of Malone's doghouse because he didn't like the way he defended. And, you know, I don't blame Malone for that. There were a lot of times where Michael was completely lost on the defensive end. So, I mean, I totally get it. But it was just it just crossed my mind of like, could it have worked here with Michael staying with the Nuggets and expanding his role in a sense? I mean, hindsight's 2020. Cam's been hurt a lot this year, and to start Michael's career, he was the one that was always injured, and now Michael's playing in every game, it seems like, and Cam Johnson has been hurt most of the year. But it would just be interesting to see if Adelman had more time as the head coach with Michael Porter Jr., if he were have to stay here, would he have given Michael Porter Jr. more of a green light? That would have been interesting to see. All right, we got my guy KJ on the show. KJ,
what's going on, Dan?
What's up, man? Thanks for joining the show, bro.
Man, appreciate you having me. How you doing?
Good win. Jamal came through in the clutch last 3.5 minutes. He closed it out for him. Val hit 2 big free throws there at the end. That was an interesting decision to get the ball into Jonas Valanciunas with 2
I was thinking the same
seconds
thing.
left. But hey, he knocked them both down. So, okay.
Right. I was saying the exact same thing. I was like, look, sometimes you got to do the unorthodox to get a unorthodox win, right? I mean,
I guess.
At the rate, I don't know, right? I mean, even Jamal Murray's kind of joking about it right there in the post game with Victor, and I was just kind of listening to that.
Oh, did Jamal say something? I missed that. What did he say?
Well, he just confirmed that he was like, "I'll let you shoot free throws next time."
By the way, did you see KJ? Did you happen to see Jamal's first free throw tonight? He swished it and he like double pumped his fists in the air. I don't know if you happened to catch that, but that obviously was in response to him missing 2 big free throws the other night against the Detroit Pistons.
But what it also lets me know is he's having fun. Like as much pressure as he should be feeling right now, he's still having fun. He's been able to laugh things off. He's being able to be honest with himself and say, hey, I messed up. I cost us that moment. I could have put us in a better position there, and yet I didn't, and yet I still live on another day to tell about it. Like, that's the Jamal Murray that I'm not used to, but I'm glad we're starting to experience. The Jamal Murray who laughs things off, the Jamal Murray who kind of lets, it's like water off of a duck's back,
Yeah.
That's all I want for Jamal.
Hey, so real quick, I was able to rewind on the stream. Let's go ahead and listen to Vic here with Jamal Murray post game. I want to hear what he had to say. Here's Jamal. Jamal Murray answer.
I'll tell you, you can never get enough of Jamal, man.
How are you so good at coming out of the double teams? I don't know.
I don't know. or as he said it, I don't know.
Poor Vic.
You gotta love Jamal, man.
Jamal is an interesting dude, that's for sure. But boy, so great to see Jamal respond the way he did tonight, KJ, specifically at the end of the game. After what happened against the Detroit Pistons, I know Jamal was probably just crushing himself over the last couple of days for those 2 missed free throws. To see him really dominate the final few minutes of that fourth quarter and really close this thing out for the Nuggets was a really, really good sign from the Blue Arrow.
A huge sign, man. And it's just a reminder that when things get rough, when things get tough, don't count Jamal Murray out. That's really what it comes down to. 9 points down the stretch when it mattered most. He was stuck at 16, put the backpack on like the Blue Arrow usually does down the stretch, and he carried them. So for whatever it's worth, say what you will about Jamal Murray, tired or not, frustrated or not, losses piling up at home or not, 12-10 before this win in clutch games or not, Jamal has always been there. And he doesn't shrink in those moments, regardless of the outcome. And that's something that Jamal Murray's become known for. And that's something the Nuggets, it's a part of their DNA. So I just thank God for Jamal Murray and his willingness to not be shy in clutch moments.
And the fact that he's been so available this year, KJ, like, he's
super important, man.
Well, he's been a guy that's, he's struggled to stay healthy, for the course of a full season. I'm knocking on wood here, but for I've dubbed this the injury bug stretch, going back to really like late November. Jamal and Tim Hardaway, like Peyton Watson, those guys have been the cornerstone of this Denver Nuggets team with all of the injuries, and they've helped this team not only tread water. KJ, they're 10-6 now without Nikola Jokic. 10-6. I didn't see that coming. I said when Joker went down, I said, my God, if the Nuggets can just play 500 basketball, I would take that. So the fact that they're 10-6 without Nikola Jokic and all of the other injuries they've had is really, really impressive.
So let's start right there, right? 10-6 without Nikola Jokic. We don't have an exact timetable on when he's going to come back. Aaron Gordon, it officially was announced earlier today that he'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6. We don't know when Christian Brown's coming back. Cam Johnson, he should be back soon, but we don't officially know.
Well, so KJ, real quick. I have this clip from Adelman on our show today. And he does give kind of an update on everybody besides Aaron Gordon. Okay, this is an update for everybody besides Aaron Gordon on the timeline that Adelman said all of these injured guys could be back by. So let me play this here for you real quick.
Okay.
Entering the final stretch here before the All-Star break, and I'm curious if you give us an update with Joker and how the All-Star break might play into any decisions you make.
Yeah, no, he's progressing at a positive rate. I would hope that he plays before the All-Star break. And I think the hope is outside of Aaron, who's obviously going to be out for a while, those other guys, the goal is to see them all play before that break hits. Again, as you guys know, and we all realize this, when they do come back, they're going to be on restrictions. It'll be a math problem that I have to figure out. But I'm hoping that they all, at least get back on the court before that starts. And to his credit, like everything else, he's been working really hard to get back. He wants to get back. He's antsy with it. We just have to make sure that we get him through the conditioning part of it. And, that he's right and ready to go when he joins us in a real game.
Will Joker go to the All-Star game?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He'll go to the All-Star game. Yeah. I mean,
the league's going to make that
happen. Guys,
okay.
I think he's got to go.
Okay. So, that was earlier today on PhD, Altitude Sports Radio 92.5.
That's a great update.
So other than Aaron Gordon, who we heard today is 4 to 6 weeks, he'll be reevaluated. Okay, that's an important word. That doesn't mean he'll be back in 4 to 6 weeks. They are going to reevaluate him in 4 to 6 weeks.
Right.
But positive news regarding Jokic, Cam Johnson, and Christian Brown. Sounds like they're hoping all three of those guys are going to be back before the All-Star break, KJ. So the cavalry is hopefully getting close to returning for the Denver Nuggets. I was a little surprised that all three are going to be playing. They're hoping they can play before the All-Star break. I've been saying just sit Jokic out until after the All-Star break. But you know what? If they deem him good to go, then I'll trust their decision. So positive news, sucky news with Aaron Gordon, positive news in regards to Nikola Jokic, Cam Johnson, and Christian Brown.
Agree 1,000%, man. It is the best news you could get to know that they will get at least a little bit of playing time before the All-Star break knocks some of the rust off and then finish knocking it off once they come back from the All-Star break. So
yeah, they have 26 games after the All-Star break. That was kind of my point. It's like there's plenty of games to knock the rust off, get their conditioning back up, make a run in the standings if possible. But look, like I said, if they're ready to come back, then so be it.
So be it. And that's really what it comes down to, Dan. If they're ready, they're ready. And like Coach Adelman just said there, at the end of the day, it's going to be his problem to figure out the rotation minutes and the minutes restrictions and all of that. But at the end of the day, that's a great problem to have. I will say this much. If Denver can continue, I would agree with that comment. Jamal has carried the bulk of the load lately. So, kudos to him. I will say this much. if down the stretch they continue to win at a clip. So right now they're sitting at about 63%, right? With Jokic out, that 10-6, 63%. If they can stay from now until the end of the season floating somewhere between 65 to 70% in the win category percentage wise, I think that should get them to second. And if that gets them to second in the West over San Antonio, I don't want to hear any other name when the season ends other than Coach David Adelman as Coach of the Year. And that's no disrespect to what Coach Bickerstaff has done with the Pistons. And that's no disrespect to what Mike Brown, I think, will eventually do with the Knicks whenever they get out of their own way. David Adelman has truly done a fabulous job in Nikola Jokic's absence. So even if Jokic misses out on the MVP, if Adelman gets Coach of the Year, I think it's all a wash.
Well, and again, it's not just Jokic that's been out. Aaron Gordon's missed a bunch of time.
Yeah.
Cam Johnson's missed a bunch of time. Christian Brown's missed a bunch of time.
Absolutely.
I mean, pretty much everybody. Jonas Valanciunas missed a bunch of time. So, to your point, KJ, if David Adelman is not even like in the running or consideration for Coach of the Year, what are we doing here? He absolutely should be one of the front runners for Coach of the Year. I mean, I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. You're right, man. With what he's been doing during these 16 games without Jokic and all the other games with all the other guys hurt on this team, he's been really impressive. And you've got to remember, this is his first full season as a head coach in the NBA. Now, had a bit of a luxury of being with this team and around these guys for the past 8 years. Okay, that helps. But man, he has been just phenomenal. I think his rotations have been really good. He's pressing the right buttons, it seems like. He's not as moody as Coach Malone was. And I'm not trying to shit on Malone, okay? Because he led this team to its only NBA championship, okay? So I've got nothing but respect for Michael Malone. I think he's a fantastic coach. But Adelman definitely seems to be less of a hothead than Michael Malone was, right? And I think his New York anger, if you will, was wearing a little bit thin, and David's just been more of like a calming presence for this team. And he's a guy that they know. Jamal Murray's called him an offensive genius on several occasions. So I'm with you, man. If David Adelman's not up for Coach of the Year, I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Well, it would be ridiculous. And I would assume that Bill Polian has a vote. I would assume he has a vote. So,
is that a Bill Belichick joke?
That is a Bill Belichick
that's
joke.
Nice. Yeah, well, Adelman has been caught for cheating multiple times. Okay. That is the dumbest thing ever. That Bill didn't get it, was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's the stupidest thing of all time.
It's the silliest thing I've ever seen.
I think All-Star games and Hall of Fames are just I hate them. I think they're the biggest jokes on the planet, both of them. I don't care about the Hall of Fame. I don't care about any All-Star game ever, except for the Four Nations that the NHL did last year. That was awesome because you know why? They actually played real hockey and the guys cared and were trying.
Yes.
That's why I like Olympic hockey. You know, they're trying. But oh man, KJ, boy, am I anti All-Star game. I hate it. I don't want Joker to go to the All-Star game. I don't want Jamal Murray to go to the All-Star game. I want them staying here and resting up. That's what I want.
I want the same thing, but it's going to happen, Dan. I'm just going to call a spade, my friend.
Did you see all the TNT crew guys had Jamal as one of the reserves?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
And he deserves it. He absolutely deserves it.
Yeah. No, he does. And I don't want any of our politically correct friends to jump on you, Dan. It's not TNT anymore. It's ESPN.
Did I say TNT? My bad.
You did. It's okay.
It's still TNT to me. They're butchering the best sports talk show of all time. The ESPN is ruining it.
Of all time, man. And we only get to see them once every 2 months. Whoop-de-darn-do.
Did you see what Charles Barkley said about that? He's like, we've only been on TV like 4 times this season.
Yeah.
They were on once a week on TNT. What the hell is that?
I know they appreciate the rest, but in the same breath, it's a reason they were so frustrated down the backstretch of their end with TNT was because they couldn't find a solution on not only which network they'd be on, but how much TV time they're going to get. So, okay, they got one more appearance coming up here, right, for the All-Star break. Then right after that, Charles Barkley, EJ, and Kenny, they're all heading off to do college basketball.
That's
they're
right.
going to leave Shaq behind. So Shaq will probably do some fun stuff with the B team with ESPN Countdown Crew.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. It's all confusing over there. So
it's just silly. All right, KJ, do you think it could have worked if Michael Porter Jr. were to have stayed with the Nuggets? Like, I'm trying to think of how I want to frame this question to you, because again, like, I know you and I have talked about this, DMAC and I have talked about this. You can't look at the Cam Johnson MPJ trade as just that, like as a straight up trade. I know that's what it was on paper, but that allowed the Nuggets to open up a bunch of cap space and sign Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway and Jonas Valanciunas. So that's really kind of how you have to look at that trade, right?
right.
But I'm just curious. Like, I mean, Michael's averaging damn near 26 points a game with the Nets. He took 28 shots tonight. I don't think he ever sniffed 28 shot attempts when he was with the Nuggets.
No.
Do you think that if MPJ were to have stayed in Denver and not been traded, do you think Adelman would have given him more of a green light? And do you think that it would have worked if they would have just expanded his offensive role with the team? Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think they could have gotten him to the level he's playing at right now in Brooklyn?
I'm going to say yes on a green light, because I like the way David Adelman staggers his starters with the bench. He does a fantastic job of not being like locked down to one set standard.
That's something
staggers.
else he's done much better than Michael.
Oh my God, he's
100%.
Night and day. I love what he's done to stagger the starters with the bench. So I think green light wise, yes, he probably would have had more of a green light. Do I think it would have been more of a fit? I am going to be brutally honest. I'm going to say no, because the one thing that he struggles with, he's still struggling with, and you saw it tonight. Defense.
Dude, Jamal Murray was cooking him.
Cooking.
He was on roller skates when he got matched up on Jamal, he could not keep up with him. Dude, Julian Strawther, like, it was pretty easy for Julian Strawther to get away and create separation on when Michael Porter Jr. was defending him. So yes, that is the one of the biggest issues with Michael Porter Jr. He's one of the best shooters in the league. Deadly shooter. We saw that on display tonight. We all knew that about Michael already. But man, is he a bad defender. Such a bad defender.
He is. And here's the truth. Like, I'm just really starting to put this together here. I never even thought about this until right now. What makes you an asset will never outweigh what makes you a liability if you never work on what makes you a liability.
Say that again.
What makes you an asset will never outweigh what makes you a liability if you never work to make your liability a slight bit more of an asset.
So Michael Porter Jr. can be, a 26, 27, 28 points per game player shooting 40% from three, and his defensive deficiencies don't help make up for what he's able to do on offense. Is that basically what you're saying?
That is exactly what I'm saying. You see, he
Interesting.
was traded this offseason, right? Because they got fed up with it. Trae Young, he was getting picked on.
Well, do you think that's why he got traded, though? I think he got traded mostly just to create more cap space, and the Tenzer Wallace duo just wanted to build out more depth on this team.
Well, the cap space was probably like the encapsulating factor. But I don't know if we can just shove into the ground and bury it the idea that, hey, like, how much of an asset is he in moments that we actually need him? We're grateful that he can shoot the three ball well, but we got other players we can find that can shoot the three ball well, and they replaced him. You know what I mean? So that's just where we are, man. That's just my belief. That's just my belief. I don't believe what makes him an asset is greater than what makes him a liability. And that's just where he is in his career. I mean, you can feel how you want to feel about it, but it's the truth. So,
yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Like, I do think his defensive deficiencies played a part of it, but I would say more so they just wanted to add more depth on this team. So actually, KJ, real quick, while we're on this this subject of MPJ, the Nuggets did tweet out their tribute video that they played in the arena for Michael tonight. So let's take a look at the tribute video they gave one Michael Porter Jr. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got this right.
With the 14th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Michael Porter Jr.
All I can say is it's a blessing, and I'm so excited. You know, I'm a winner, and I'm going to help this.
All right, so there was the that was the tribute video to MPJ. That was a good job there by the Nuggets. That was cool.
Man, that was awesome, super awesome by the Nuggets, man. I got to give them credit. That was amazing. It was one of those moments, man, where you are appreciative, and you know, I want to be respectful. Coach Adelman said in his pregame presser that he is an all-time Nugget, and though I think he was integral to their championship run, I'd be hard pressed to hand out that compliment so lightly. So,
yeah. So it's just, man, like Michael is such an interesting basketball player, right? Because if you look at his tape in high school, that dude was electrifying.
Oh, baller, man.
Dominating. He was the number one
Dude.
recruit out of high school. If he didn't have the back injuries at Missouri, he probably would have been the first overall pick in that draft, where I think DeAndre Ayton went first in that draft. Nice picks, Suns. Dummies. You had SGA and Luka and some other really good players in that draft too. But anyways, and Michael falls to 14 to the Denver Nuggets because of the back injuries. And I just remember at the time, it's like, you know, there was big question marks surrounding Michael Porter Jr. There's no doubt about it. And he had to have several other back surgeries after he got drafted. But I got to say, man, like the resilience that guy showed in coming back from, 3 back surgeries. And look at him now. He's playing in basically every game. He's been healthy. And he's kind of lighting it up there in Brooklyn. I know the team's not very good and they're rebuilding, but he was such a tantalizing prospect. I'll never forget Chauncey Billups on the draft coverage that night. The Nuggets took Michael Porter Jr. You know, they do their player comps.
Yeah.
And he said that Michael Porter Jr. reminded him of Chauncey Billups of a young Kevin Durant. And I'm sitting there watching that like, holy shit. Did we just get a young Kevin Durant on the night? I mean, like that was the tantalizing hype surrounding this guy. Now, did he live up to that hype? Of course not. We may never see a Kevin Durant type player again, but boy, he sure is that mold. And you know, it didn't start well, but it sure ended pretty good. Will help this team win a championship, and it sucked to see him go. You know, it really did. But even if you remember, we did the draft or the trade show over the summer when they made the trade. You and I did a show, and I said it sucks to see him go, but this was a move the Nuggets had to make because the last 2 years in the playoffs, it became increasingly clear that this team wasn't deep enough to win an NBA title, period.
Yeah.
And I think the front office recognized that, rightfully so, because in 2023, they were deep enough. And then the 2 years go by where they lose Jeff Green and they lose KCP and they lose Bruce Brown and they lose all these depth pieces. And you can't win an NBA title with 5 guys. You know, you just can't. You've got to run at least 8 deep. And so at the end of the day, KJ, this was a move that it did suck when it happened. You just didn't want to see MPJ go, but the Nuggets made the right call, in my opinion.
No, I agree 1,000%. They did make the right call, and is paying dividends right now, regardless of what people may think of how Cam Johnson's season started, combined with the injury. It's paying off dividends. Tim Hardaway Jr. is playing way above what you're paying him. Bruce Brown is starting to finally turn the corner, right?
About time.
about time.
But
And
he is.
He is. And the fact that you were able to trade Mike actually created the leverage you needed to get Jonas in the trade for Dario Saric. So all of the players and pieces you needed to really make a real run, you have, and it's paying off dividends. I don't know if we combine all of their averages, let's call it, let's call it 32 points, give or take 12 rebounds, maybe 7 assists, and maybe like 4 steals. That's probably what all of the guys are averaging combined, right?
All
There's
of the,
no
the
way-
new guys, right?
the new
That
guys.
replaced Michael, that they were able to get because of the Michael trade, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
There's no way Michael makes that up. There's nothing he can literally
Yeah.
do in his own power to make up all
Well,
of
and think
that.
about right now, the situation that, well, not right now, the last 2 months, the situation this team's been in with all of the injuries. I mean,
Right.
they don't go 10-6 without Nikola Jokic with last year's team. That's not happening.
No.
Like-
No.
This year, they're able to do it in part because they traded away Michael Porter Jr. They opened up salary cap space, and they're able to sign depth pieces to the roster. And you've had guys that were already here that have taken the next step in their growth. Guys like Peyton Watson, Jalen Pickett's been better this year.
Mhm.
Jonas Valanciunas has been fantastic when he's been in there filling in for Nikola Jokic. So the depth they've added and the growth they've had in-house has really allowed this team to survive. Not only survive, I don't want to say thrive, but play really, really good basketball while the best player on the planet has been out, while they've had 3 or 4 starters out for weeks at a time. That's the trade that helped them do what they're doing right now.
And I think we'll always look back on what Mike was able to do in Denver and be utterly grateful. All of the amazing shots, all of the amazing moments, the dunks, the comebacks, the ability to persevere in spite of everything that Malone threw at him, especially in his early years, will be more than appreciative as time goes along. But as it sits right now, we're thankful, and yet you make the right decision. 2 things
Yeah.
can be true at once.
Do you think, let me ask you this, KJ. Do you think, so Cam's making what, 18 a year, I believe? I think it's 18.
Okay.
Let me just ask you this scenario. If Michael was making 18 per year, do you think they trade him last offseason?
Oh God, no, because you could have been able to go get the same pieces while keeping Mike. So I think
Who would you rather have on the Nuggets this year? You, KJ, Cam Johnson, or Michael Porter Jr.? Let's just assume they're both healthy. Okay. Who would you rather have on the Nuggets this season?
Are they both making 18?
We'll just say they're both making the same amount of money. Don't factor in the money. Just the player. Which one helps the Nuggets win a title this season more, in your opinion?
Cam Johnson, because he brings the one thing that Mike can't bring, and that is fluidity on the defensive end. So
Mhm.
Cam, is he the best head of the snake defender? No. Is he as good as he was with the Suns? No. But what he is a fantastic team defender, because his ability to play the lanes and knowing when to kind of hedge to the paint, that's just something MPJ could never master. So with all the blocks and rebounds and occasional steals he got, it never amounted to much, because defensively they were still giving up a bunch of threes. Now they haven't gotten significantly better in that same venture this year, but I think Cam's ability to just read the defense is like way better.
Yeah, yes. I see what you're saying, and I would tend to agree with you. What did I complain most about last year, KJ? There were 2 things. I bitched about not having a legit backup center. Okay, I complained about that a lot, and I complained about the 3-point defense. They improved both of those things greatly over the offseason with the addition of Jonas Valanciunas as Joker's backup center, and I think Cam Johnson and Bruce Brown adds another level or layer to their defense to close out on those 3-point attempts. It hasn't been tremendous this year by any means, but it's definitely been an improvement. Their 3-point defense from the last couple of seasons. So, and I think Cam, when he's been in there, has been a big part of that.
Huge part of that. And I got to give him kudos because I've seen moments, and again, going back to what we talked about earlier, DA knowing when and who to stagger depending on the game and the situation. Cam, I saw in multiple situations, he would stagger with the defense. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a hustler on the defensive end. We know what Bruce
Boy, was that a
Brown
great
was.
signing, man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, my God, like that was kind of the throw-in after the Cam for MPJ trade, the Valanciunas signing, Bruce Brown, Nuggets hero, comes back to town. Oh, and they got this guy, Tim Hardaway, who's kind of a KG vet, good shooter. He's been the best addition of all four of them.
Yeah. There's no question. There's no question. He's been the most dependable, the most reliable, and the most cost efficient, which I think that last part is definitely the biggest factor in all of this, because there's no way in your right
Most bang
mind
for the buck, for sure.
By far, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's no
I
way
didn't think of it that way, but you're right. Like money wise, they have gotten way more value out of Tim Hardaway Jr. than what they're paying him. No doubt about it. You're right about that.
I promise you, I'm not even kidding when I say this. This is not a hot take. I am being dead serious when I say this. If for whatever reason David Adelman decides when Christian Brown comes back to move Tim Hardaway up and keep Christian Brown on the bench at $25 million a year, I won't be mad.
Okay, last one, and then I'll let you go. I asked DMAC this question a couple weeks ago. You bringing up Christian Brown there just made me think of this. I asked DMAC this. I want to get I'm curious what your thoughts are. With the emergence of Peyton Watson this season, okay, I think he's playing at damn near an all-star level.
Yeah, he's
right. He's not an all-star. He's right there. You know what I'm saying? Still a very young basketball player. He's been tremendous this year for this team. This isn't an indictment on Christian Brown. Okay, let me preface this with that. I love Christian Brown as a basketball player, but he's been hurt this year. But again, this is not an indictment on Christian Brown. Yeah. Would you trade Christian Brown over the offseason and use that money to sign Peyton Watson?
Boy, that is a good question.
DMAC had that exact same reaction. He's like, I don't know, Dan.
That is a great.
He's like, oh, why you have to do this to me?
Am I keeping Tim Hardaway Jr.?
Yeah, just those two players, because obviously they paid Christian this past off season. They didn't pay Peyton Watson. So with what we've seen this year from Peyton Watson, again, this isn't an indictment on Christian Brown. He's been hurt. But man, boy, has Peyton Watson been playing really, really well this year.
I think
let me just tell you this. I'm doing that in a heartbeat. I'm trading Christian Brown and using that money to sign Peyton Watson. Yeah. And I like Christian. I really do. But I'm keeping Peyton Watson in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think if we're being level-headed here, taking all the emotion out of it, I don't think you have much of a choice. You have to. You have to. I mean, this is the Peyton Watson that everybody expected coming out of high school. This is a McDonald's All-American. This is a guy who decided to go sit behind one of the greatest UCLA teams in this century. He decided to go sit on the bench behind that great team, right? Those he could have went anywhere in the country and started. He decided to go to UCLA and he wanted to learn. And that's exactly what he did. And now he's emerging and evolving and growing into one of the best young 3-and-D wings in the entire league. And honestly, I say 3-and-D, but I don't want to disrespect him. He's actually more than that. And so just kind of seeing the emergence of who he's become without Nikola Jokic. That's the key.
I'm so glad you brought that up. And actually, Nate Kreckman talked about this a couple of weeks ago on Kreckman and Lindahl. And I thought it was a really good point, and I hadn't thought about it this way. I'm so glad you said that, KJ, because I totally agree with you. The only questions I still have remaining for Christian Braun are, is he Jokic dependent in order to have success? Peyton Watson has shown the entire world that he is not Jokic dependent. He can be productive without Nikola Jokic being the facilitator. To me, that kind of makes the decision easy right there, does it not?
It does. It really, really does. He's playing so well that truthfully, like, I know what Christian Braun means playing alongside Nikola Jokic. He's really well. He's like, Peyton Watson's playing so well right now. And I'm saying this with the hope that he'll continue to improve his three-point shooting as his career goes along. But I mean, you could even flip him for Cam Johnson. Like you could move Cam Johnson out.
That's another option. Yeah.
Put Peyton Watson in at the 3. And now you have like defensive stalwarts like back to back to back now.
And then you've got so if that scenario, okay. So then you would have Peyton at the 3, Christian at the 2, Jamal at the 1, Aaron Gordon hopefully at the 4, and Joker at the 5.
Hopefully.
Man, that would be a ridiculous starting 5.
That would be something serious, man. And you flip Cam Johnson for another team that was under the out of the luxury tax and out of the aprons this year. You flip them to that team, and you get I don't know, some young wing who just they just need a fresh start. The one player I'm thinking of, that team doesn't fit the criteria. Plus, they would never make a trade with the Nuggets because of Vic Lombardi. But
the Lakers,
yes, like Dalton Connect off the bench. Oh my god!
Didn't he just request a trade?
He did.
Yeah. I like Dalton Connect.
I do too. But as a second-year player who's not playing well, calling your shot is crazy.
What do you think the Nuggets could? Okay, let me ask you this then, real quick. Who do you think they would get more in return for, Cam Johnson or Christian Braun?
Oh man, probably Cam Johnson.
You think so?
I think the book's out on Christian Braun, man. Like,
what's the book? What's the book saying?
The book is saying he can only play well with Nikola Jokic. Like,
yeah,
you can probably count on one hand the number of games he's went crazy without Nikola Jokic. Now, that's more so to say because either Nikola doesn't have many bad games, or Nikola doesn't get injured outside of this little stretch. Yeah. So it's one of those two things. But the book is out, man. Like, you can count on one hand the number of times in his career up to this point that he's played well where Nikola Jokic either didn't or wasn't available.
Okay.
And that is what it is, man. I don't want to disrespect Christian Braun. I don't want to minimize his role in what he's done for the Nuggets, but man, a spade is a spade last time I checked.
All right, KJ. Really appreciate you jumping on the show with me tonight. Great stuff, as always, everybody. KJ Granderson, producer for Alex Ryanemi and Coach Mike Sanford, 10 to noon every weekday on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. KJ's NFL Notes. Make sure to tune in. Best segment on that show. What time does that segment run, KJ? 11:20?
Hey, 11:20 every day, man. Y'all know.
Make sure to tune in and hear KJ's wonderful voice at 11:20 on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. KJ, you rock. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, there he goes. KJ Granderson, everybody. Love having KJ on the show. So, yeah, a lot of stuff that we got into tonight. Like I said, positive news. Adelman was on our show earlier today. We have him on once a week. And he gave positive updates on Cam Johnson, Christian Braun, and Nikola Jokic, saying they are hoping that all three of those guys will be back playing in games before the All-Star break. He did say they'll be on a minutes restriction. No surprise there, but before the All-Star break. And then the bad news today was obviously we learned that Aaron Gordon will be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks after re-aggravating the hamstring he injured in late November in a game against the Houston Rockets. So they're surviving. They're trying to get through this injury bug stretch, and boy, 10-6 without Joker. I mean, that is impressive. So that's been great to see. David Adelman and the coaching staff has done a tremendous job, and we'll see what happens with Giannis. Giannis wants out of Milwaukee. Where does he end up? That could, that's going to be the big domino that has to fall before a lot of other trades will happen around the league. Where does Giannis end up? I've seen Miami's interested. I've seen the Golden State Warriors are interested. Shoot, I'm sure most teams in the NBA are interested in the services of Giannis Antetokounmpo. So we'll see where it sounds like he's going to be traded before the deadline. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. All right, everybody, great win for the Nuggets tonight. Again, they beat the Brooklyn Nets 107-103. Michael Porter Jr.'s return to Denver comes in a loss. MPJ was great tonight. 38 points in 37 minutes, 13 of 28 shooting from the field. He took 15 3-point attempts tonight. Did Michael Porter Jr. hit 7 of them in the loss to the Denver Nuggets. And the Nuggets will continue their 4-game homestand coming up tomorrow night against the LA Clippers. We'll have post-game coverage for you then, and then they'll wrap it up with a matchup against the defending NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder coming up on Sunday. So great win for the Nuggets tonight. We'll see you for reaction to Nuggets and Clippers tomorrow night. Thank you so much for listening to In the Paint.